this channel, Uta and I have talked a lot about how to create opportunities to motivate our children to speak, read, and write in our home languages, because this positive atmosphere and intrinsic motivation is very important. We've also mentioned how to make our languages relevant and purposeful, and the 20-80 ratio, so 20% of effort for 80% of fun, to make any task worthwhile. Today we're going to focus particularly on the 20-80 ratio with the activity Ping Pong Writing, which is activity number 70 of the Parent's Guide to Raising Multi-literate Children. Being literate doesn't really appear as a necessity for our children, and although they can see easily how reading can bring some fun into their lives by reading books, it's more difficult to see what writing can bring. So our children might be more reluctant to practice writing, but without practice, it's very difficult to improve any writing skills, especially accuracy. In previous videos, we've given you examples to make writing the home language purposeful and relevant, but it's not always easy to find such activities. So as a consequence, it can be difficult to motivate our children to write. So today, instead of focusing on the fun aspect of the activity, we're going to have a look at how to lower the amount of effort necessary. The great thing about Ping Pong Writing is that it doesn't require any prep at all. We just need a pen and a sheet of paper. Then it's up to our child and our imagination. In turns, we just need to write one word and see little by little the story emerge. The first benefit is that because none of the players know what the other person has in mind and needs to adapt every time, it can lead to fun stories very easily. And this fun aspect can be very motivating for children to write. Then, because the focus is not necessarily on the accuracy, we can correct our children without upsetting them, and they can learn that way. And lastly, we don't need to have an exceptional imagination because we only need to write one word. And then it's up to the other person or people who are playing with us.
Attends, c'est N, du coup, pouvez, c'est quoi à la fin?
Having only one word to write can sometimes feel a little frustrating, especially when our children want to write something funny. It can also make it a little difficult for younger children to find ideas of what to write or to follow a certain logic in the sentence when they are limited to one word. So in that case, you're free to have more words. It can be 3, 4, 5, but just be careful not to add too many, because otherwise it's going to become more effort for our children to write. Ping Pong Writing is just a starting point. It's a way of reducing the amount of effort our children need to put in. But feel free to adapt it to yours and your children's needs. So for example, like I mentioned before, instead of having just one word, it can be 3, 4, 5 words at a time. Or here's a list of a few variations I've played with my sons. One variation could be to play with the dice. So before you write, you throw the dice, you look at the number on the top of the dice, and you write that number of words. This can help especially to be more coherent or to guide the story into one direction or another. To help keep the story coherent and have a direction, you can also decide on a title for the story. And the last variation I've tried with my sons is to use a bunch of random keywords. So before we started to play, we write a certain number of keywords, put them randomly in an envelope, pick them out, and the aim was to write the story until we would be able to use that word. So Ping Pong Writing is a fun activity that generally demands zero prep and can be adapted to your child's level. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it around with other families and teachers who might need some inspiration. And if you're looking for more ideas to help you foster your languages in a fun way, we invite you to check out our books, the Toolbox for Multilingual Families and the Parent's Guide to Raising Multi-literate Children. We'll see you next week with another activity from Uta, and until then, keep playing, learning and having fun with all your languages.